This is ContactTalkRadio.com. Consciousness in action. And you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on TuneIn.com, Hing.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio.
You're listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
Hi, everybody. It's a wonderful January day, January 10th, 2012, Southern California. I was just chatting with Sam at the studio, and I said, you know what? There's no winter where I live, not this year. Gorgeous weather, out working. Everybody's weeding and hoeing and weed whacking and sitting out in the sun. So we'll see what happens next. Topic today. How to live with losing or while losing our pets and other animal friends. That's a topic I think that a lot of us can relate to. I'll get to it in a moment here, but first of all, I do take calls on my live show. I look into your pets, I look into you, I look into dead people, live people, boyfriend, girlfriend problems, jobs, situations, anything you can think of. I look at it and try and help with it, help you see it clearly, listen to what people say when I'm in their heads, and I try and bring about good changes. I send out a lot of mojos, too, good energy mojos to help you. And, in fact, whenever I do a phone reading with somebody, at the end, I always turn off the clock, and then I give you a personal mojo. It comes through me from the Beings for You, and I get so many results. So many emails about results from these mojos, the ones I give personally, the ones I throw out over the air, the MP3s on my website. You know, I've got a free one on my website. Go check it out if you don't know what I'm talking about, or if you don't have it yet. GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. Look for the pair of blue headphones. And just click on that and you'll get your free mojo called Everything is Always Okay. It's got music with it, a beat, all kinds of stuff. It also signs you up for my newsletter, postcards, email. Those don't come out very often. You will not be inundated with them. And if you've already signed up but you don't have the mojo, sign again. Supposedly the system will dump the duplicate address. We shall see, won't we? All right, so let me just, before we get into the topic, give you a couple of things here, results of these mojos. A lady named Donna. I have to tell you that after listening to your Money Mojo show, I had the idea out of the blue to check unclaimed.org, the website, which I checked several years ago with no luck. I have lived in many states, and I made sure to check them all. Great news. I have 2 outstanding refunds waiting for me. The site only gives ranges, so I have no idea as to the actual value, but it's at least $110. The funny thing is, the address connected with the checks is from almost 15 years ago, and I definitely checked that website less than 15 years ago. We could call it the Money Magic Mojo, and I do have an MP3 Money Mojo on my website, which you can download. She emailed another day after this. I just wanted to let you know that my check was for over $200. Woohoo! A couple of $100 I never expected. Not so bad, huh? So that's the mojos, but let's get into our program today, talking about our animals. I was sitting in my big brown leather chair in my sunny room this morning thinking about the show today, thinking about the animals from my childhood. We have Barney. He was a big black cow. We got him when he was a baby, and he roamed the property. We had, I think, 14 acres. He was going to be our meat cow. He was going to be slaughtered and feed all of us, 6 little kids and 2 parents. But, you know, we never could do it. We never could do it. Unfortunately, Barney got out one day and ate the neighbor's poison grain. So that fixed that. But we also had tons of cats. We had dogs. My first dog was Buppy. I couldn't say puppy. She was there when I was born. She lived till I was 15. When she was hitting the road, she wandered into the road. Lady, a collie. There was Snoopy. He looked like the Snoopy dog on Peanuts, and he would always shower with my brother Arthur. He had these long, floppy ears. Snoopy. She was a girl, actually. And we made her stop showering with Arthur when she started growing mold in her ears. She took too many showers. It was fungus in her ears. That's what it was. And we had 2 black Labradors. My father named them both George and George. And, of course, we had all the sadness that went along with the loss of our animals each time, and many, many cats, like I said. I can't even remember all of them. Blanca, Sexy, Daisy, Mabel, Mary. It goes on, and some disappeared. Some were killed by coyotes, some cars, some died just from illnesses. You know, they all go. The thing with pets is they go generally sooner than we do. So you'll have a number of them who've left before you do, but just think of all those you'll have waiting for you when you pass out of the body. People have said to me, Venus, you have the worst luck with animals. I swear, every animal I take in, I get a lot of found animals, abandoned animals, a couple I've bought from people. Doesn't matter where I get them. They all say, I don't know why you have such bad luck, because they always have sorry little lives. I mean, they get all these sicknesses and problems, like Bob, the little dog. He's a mix, Doxy and Pug, a little pug. He has hemophilia. He has digestive issues, cost me $800 a few months back. And he has a terrible allergy to bee stings. He goes immediately into anaphylactic shock. So I have to keep all the needles here with everything in it and the Benadryl, and as soon as I see something happening, he basically staggers, falls over. It's pretty clear. I have to grab him and shoot him up and put the Benadryl down him. So, of course, he doesn't trust me anymore. He's become my ex-Bill's dog because, you know, I'm the one that shoots him. So I've got that. Then I've got Sparkle. She was a found cat, and she immediately started eating everything in the house. That was a $1,000 operation right there. Then recently she got deathly ill. The vet couldn't fix her. She was going to die. So I had to give her all my potions and elixirs, and finally said, go outside and hunt. Just do what cats do, you know, and she got well. I think she cured herself. I've got Carl now. Carl, my Maine Coon cat, he's not even 1 year old, and he has cardiomyopathy. He was in heart failure when I got him into the cardiologist, the vet cardiologist. He has an overbite. He has digestive issues. He hurt his leg right off. There was Woofer and Jake, 2 dogs of mine. Jake got an autoimmune disease and went blind. It goes, I don't need to do it anymore. You get the picture? And I'm going, God, I love animals. I'm crazy about animals, but maybe I should just stop. Just stop having animals, because everybody, you know, it just doesn't work out. And I spend my life crushing up pills and nutrition and being here to do certain things and watching them. And then Bill looked at me one day and he said, you know, he says, maybe it's not that you have the worst luck with animals. You just have all the animals that need help. They're sent to you because you help them. And I thought, you know what? I like the way he looks at that, and maybe that's true. And maybe you've seen that in your own life, too. I had a reading done by a Vedic astrologer, you know, from India. And he said something was in my chart, like I was a great friend to animals. It was bigger than that. I was this huge, enormous, great friend to animals. And I thought, what does that mean? I love animals, but I feel too much for them. I could never get involved with rescuing and doing all that stuff because I cry all the time. I just do the best I can, where I can. But maybe that's why they're sent to me. I do other things and you can do this too. I donate to the ASPCA. And whenever I find a loose animal, I always try and collect it. That takes me far afield. I just have an awful time. I'm just too sensitive to animals' plights. I want to tell you a story. One of my clients that I've worked with for, maybe 20 years on the phone, gone through all her dog deaths, and she specializes in dogs, the great big kind of dogs. And darn, sheepdogs, that's the name. I couldn't remember all morning. What's the name of those? Big sheepdogs, black and white, gorgeous, huge dogs, and they don't live very long because they're big, huge dogs. And so with her latest dog, it was coming down to the wire, and she was crying all the time and asking me to look into her dog and how was she doing and what should she do. And, you know, the dog was starting to collapse and taking prednisone and seeing the vet all the time. And, you know, her end was coming. I think she lived till 14, which is phenomenal for that kind of dog. But this lady and I worked together quite a lot as this was going on. And what I told her was, I looked back at my animals and the ones that I had kept alive too long. You know, you just love them, and you know they're in pain and they're suffering, but you take them to the vet and you give them everything, you do everything, and you try and keep them here because you want them here and they want to stay here. And I said that with some of them I'd let it go way too long, and it got just terrible. They died in agony, and I said, you can't do that. You just have to choose the right time. You talk to your animal and explain what you're doing and why, because animals aren't afraid of death. They just, as far as I know, they just don't want to leave us. They want to stay here. And but then, you know, at the right time, you got to do it. So she agonized and cried, and finally went and did it. And she had some really rough days, but then she was so much more relaxed. She felt so much better. She knew she'd done the right thing. And then she was calling me to check up on the dog and see what the dog was up to, what it was doing. But now she feels relieved. And, you know, don't feel guilty. She was feeling guilty because now her life wasn't devoted to taking care of the dog. She didn't have to go home every 2 hours to carry the dog out to pee, and had thrown her hip out and she was in pain, and you know how it goes. And she just felt free, like she can live her life now and she can travel and she can do things. And you know, that happens with people too. You love them dearly, but if you're a caretaker, when they go, some part of you is like, oh, God, I have my life back. And so don't feel guilty about that. But where are your animal friends, you may be asking? Well, from what I've seen, they just slip through the veil like the rest of us do, like people do, like everything does. And I've often had to talk with cats or dogs or lizards or parrots or whatever. And you know, animals aren't big talkers for the most part. It's kind of hard to talk with animals here or on the other side. They're very simple in the way they speak and what they talk about and how they do it. I often have to go more on feeling. But they're in the dimensions all around us. And sometimes your other animals can see them, and they'll act funny. And will you see them again? Absolutely. I feel sure that when I pass over, they're all going to be there. And, oh, gosh, I hope I can remember all of them and all their names. They've been so many. And, you know, sometimes some of us even see them when we're still alive. My mom did that. I think I've told you this. I had a cat named Putty, Mouser, black and white cat. Oh, I had her till she was 18, 19. She was there when Summer was born. She didn't pass until Summer was a teenager. She was my favorite one and only cat, actually, and she would ride in the car with me around my neck, and when I try and sing, she'd bite my chin. She didn't like my singing. And she was just my closest friend, animal friend. And letting her go was so hard. She was sick, really sick, and my dad said, well, when we were ready, he'd shoot her. So Summer and I cried and carried on. We finally got ready because we couldn't stand the suffering anymore, and I put her in a little blanket, and I carried her over to my dad's house, and I said, we're ready, and we're sobbing. Well, he couldn't do it either. It came right down to it. He couldn't do it. Anyway, so Putty left on her own in my bedroom one night. And many years later, geez, it's only been a few years back, Mom said, this was when my mother was alive, of course, Mom said she came down the hall in her mobile home, and she saw a cat sitting on the stove, and it was a black and white cat. And she says, who's that cat? That cat looks really familiar. That's Putty Cat. That's Putty Cat. And I was so excited about it because Putty had died on the property that my mom lived on. I lived in the cottage off to the side, and Putty died in the cottage. Well, obviously, she was in my mother's house and just visiting. You know, cats, dogs, they're like people in a lot of ways. They're like people. When I got divorced from Summer's dad, I had to take Putty to my folks' house for a while we were getting resettled. And then I came back and got her. But she'd been with my folks 3 or 4 weeks, a month, something like that. She was so angry with me. It was before I got her. Going back in time here. She disappeared. Nobody could find her anywhere, and I was crying and carrying on. I came back to my folks' house, couldn't find her anywhere. And I looked at one of their old block buildings. Of course, everybody had looked in everything, and there she was. There was a wire window. It was just made of wire. And she was on the other side, flat out, on the other side, meowing. I opened that door and got her out. She'd been gone 3 or 4 days. She hugged me like she'd never let go. You know what? She totally forgave me. She no longer ignored me or acted like I didn't matter to her. It was a funny little story, but gosh, I really miss my animals, and I know you do too, but they're there. I've seen them when I go out and about, just like when I go to contact dead people, I ask to contact their animals sometimes. Occasionally, an animal will show up just when I'm doing a reading for somebody, and I'll say, who's this? Who's this brown dog on a plaid blanket or something? So, yes, to answer your question, they go on just like we do. You'll be with them again. And do they look after us? I suppose they would if they're around all the time. They go off and do their own thing, but they're here a lot. And I would imagine they do their best to protect us. Who knows? Maybe we've averted a lot of things because of our animals on the other side. Why not? A lot of them helped us and protected us when we were here. All right, well, I see it is break time. I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back. I'm going to take your calls, and we'll see what you're up to, your dead friends, your live friends, what your troubles are. We'll put our troubles aside for a little bit and listen to theirs. Venus Andrecht with the Dear Venus Show.
Do you know that all of the Dear Venus shows are archived? You can listen to them anytime. To find the Dear Venus Show with Venus Andrecht on iTunes podcasts, the archive shows, or to have the current show emailed to you each week, go to Venus's website at GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. Click on the radio section on the homepage. That's all there is to it. You can have Venus with you anytime, all the time. You may start to feel like she's moved in with you. You can find her archive shows at GodIsAlwaysHappy.com in the radio section on the homepage.
Would you like to have Venus's great mojo energy in your home all the time, influencing and helping you in many ways? Well, you can have that energy. Venus puts good mojo into every painting she creates, and when you purchase one of her paintings, at your request, she'll put in an extra special mojo just for you. She'll write your mojo onto the back of the picture and sign the painting to you from her. To see Venus's work, prices, and how to request your personal mojo, please go to artmojos.com. That's ARTMOJOS.com. You'll feel better just looking at the mojo-filled artwork on her site. Try it and see. artmojos.com.
You know what Venus's mojos are. They are the benevolent energies her mother taught her to pull from the universe. The good energy mojos of all different kinds that help people in all different ways. Venus gathers these energies up from the universe and tosses various ones to all of you each week on this radio show. On her website, Venus has 8 more pretty impressive mojos that have garnered many happy testimonials. Mojos that she has taped with extra added energy and had them each set to special music and turned into MP3s. You can purchase these MP3s off Venus's website for a nominal fee and listen to them over and over again. Venus currently has a special running on all 8 mojos for $20 off. You can find these mojos on Venus's website, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. And there are more unique mojos coming as MP3s, so be sure and check back often to Venus's site, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com.
Did you know that Venus does private phone sessions where she digs into the problems or concerns you have with people in your life? These issues can be with men, women, or children, and they can be dead or alive. Venus works to give you a better understanding of what people are thinking about you and your problems. By doing this, she gives you knowledge and peace of mind. Venus also works to help change situations and bring good things into your life after each phone session. After the clock is turned off, Venus does something extra special for you. She asks the high beings to bring through a personal mojo, just for you. Something they feel you may need in your life to make things better. For Venus's rates, how she works, and to set up a session, please go to GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. That's GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. If you really want and need to know about someone or something, email Venus now.
listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
Hi, glad you're still here. I'm so glad you're here. I want to say something before I get into a few notes. Have some of you been crying all weekend? Monday, maybe a few weeks back? I'm hearing a lot of this. I even had it myself. Horribly huge emotional upsets and swings, and I'm thinking, gosh, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What is this? Then I find out a lot of people are doing it. I guess there was a great big huge Cancer moon this weekend, but I put a note on my fan page on the website there, Facebook page, that's what I mean, Facebook. And I was saying, I'm hearing from a lot of people who are going through this, and, it's just like we're leaving behind what we used to be, where we used to live, how we used to think and feel, jobs, people, economy, everything, and stepping out into all new things. It's like being Christopher Columbus, and I've heard tons of comments from people. So just in case you're out there sobbing and wailing and feeling upset, you can't figure out why, or maybe you think you know why, you have a lot of company, and it's going to pass. Just swing with it. And somebody on the chat room over here says the last 2 days were awful, Venus. Yes. See, I wish I'd known you all were feeling this way while I was. I just didn't know what was wrong with me. I said, I think I have a mental issue. By the way, I have a wonderful chat room over here, and you can be on there live. People are so much fun. Our next show, by the way, it's going to be January 17th, Tuesday, 2012. Topic is, why are so many people in the world insane? Yes, I think I'm going to tackle that one. What do you think? That should be a hottie. And I'm also going to give you a few simple vitamins and minerals for health. Make it simple so you don't have to do too much. And my next blog is out tomorrow. I'm doing what I said. I'm getting them out every Wednesday. So far, so good. Although, as I told you, I've had a heck of a time with my blog since I hired that lady to help me, and either she fired me or I fired her. She screwed me up so badly. All the plugins. Summer's tried to help. Even she can't do it, and she's brilliant. So we're having to get some deep, intensive help to straighten the comments out and a lot of other things. I apologize for any problems you've had with those comments. But what I'm doing is each month I read all your comments on every blog that I write, and then for the month I choose a comment and put it in my blog the next month at the bottom, and you win a free 10-minute phone session with me. Tomorrow I'm going to name the two winners because I'm running late on that, but there's two winners. I couldn't choose just one. Two of the comments I saw were so funny and amusing, I had to choose you both. So check it out tomorrow when the blog shows up, and the blog will be named Skeeter Stings Teenager, Outcome Uncertain. Yes. Sounds a little National Enquirer-ish, doesn't it? If you want to get the blog automatically, you don't have to worry about finding it, getting it. Just sign up for the feed when you're on the site. It says feed right up at the top right in orange, something like that. Oh, to get the blog in the first place, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com/blog. GodIsAlwaysHappy.com/blog. All right, let's see. Let's take some calls here. And also, if I have time, I try and get some stuff on the chat, in the chat room too. John over there on the chat room, you said your doorbell keeps ringing. You have a tan house and you wondered who was doing this. I feel like it's a loose wire. Sorry. It doesn't feel like anything more than that. It feels like some kind of loose wire that needs to be jiggled around. See, not all readings are that exciting. Sorry. I wish I had a better story for you than that. But I always attempt to be truthful. Whatever I see is what I see and what I say. So let's go to the board here. Diane in Boise, Indiana. What's going on with you, Diane?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, Venus.
Yes? What?
I'm so happy to talk to you.
Oh, good. Me too.
I'm happy because I'm crying because I'm happy.
Oh, my gosh. You're one of those I talked about. You're one of us. We've been crying for...
Yes, exactly. I've been crying.
Isn't that strange? Isn't that strange? We're all going through it. It's just like something's taking us and wringing us out like a like an old rag or something.
Oh, I'm telling you. Let me catch my breath.
Okay.
The chat room is just amazing. The people there are amazing. It's the first time in all these years I've been listening to that I've been able to get on the chat line.
Oh, you're over there. Oh, I see you over there as Diane. I don't want to say your last name, but great. You got on. Terrific. All right. So what are we going to do today, honey?
Okay. Well, I spent 2 years taking care of my mother, and I had to move out of state. And she wasn't very nice. And, it was very hard. So I did that for 2 years, and I came back here to live with my daughter, and now she's not very nice, and I can't find a job, and she's getting really mad at me, and I go out and put applications in and talk to people, and the job market is tight, and I don't have a lot of skills.
Okay, so let me, Diane, let me just get all this straight. Okay. You took care of your mother for several years, and then she died, right?
No, she's not dead.
She's not dead, but you're not taking care of her anymore.
No, I don't take care of her anymore. I left there because things were really weird. My brother lived next door with his sons, and I think they thought I was invading the whole situation, but I can't.
Okay, so now you left your mother, and are you living with your daughter?
Yes, my oldest daughter. She's 29, and
and she's upset with you because you haven't found a job. Is that right?
Yes, and I think there's other things going on in her life, maybe some pot and stuff like that, and I'm doing the best I can. Okay, Diane, let me just get cleared up here. Okay. Because what I'm feeling off you right now is there's just a whole bunch of stuff, like little bits and pieces of things, and so I have to clear through it and get to the point so I can help you. I can understand how you are feeling so upset because it's like old wet confetti all around you that you're trying to push through. I want to know how old you are and what kind of work did you do before you didn't, besides taking care of your mom. Well, I'm 57, and I was a house cleaner for a lot of years.
Okay.
And I was married for 20 years. I got divorced.
Okay. And your daughter's first name, how old is she? She's 29, and what does she do for a living?
She's a hostess in a restaurant here in Boise.
Okay. And does she have children?
No.
Okay. So you're living together. Okay. And so basically everything's gone to poop in your life, right?
Pretty much. And I just feel so clouded. Like I can't.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. So let me do this. Let me go into you. What color's your hair right now?
It's brown.
Okay. I'm going to go into you, look through your eyes. I become you. Sometimes people feel me. Don't worry if you do or don't. Right. And then I'm just going to do whatever the beings lead me to do, okay? And I'll say everything out loud so you know what I'm up to. Diane, Diane, Diane. Okay, beings, please help me help Diane here. I'm going into Diane. All right, there you are, darling. Well, actually, you look younger than you are. Is that true?
I've been told.
Yes.
I don't always believe it, but I've been told.
Well, you do. And considering all the troubles you have, I expected to see an old bag of a wreck here. But I don't see you that way.
It feels that way.
Yeah, it feels that way, but you don't look that way. You've got a lot more going for you. In fact, you might even want to lighten up your hair, go blonde or something. Okay. You ever thought of that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, do it. For some reason, I see you that way. It's like they want you to do that. It's going to give you a lift. It's going to make you look even better than you do. All right. Well, there, you feel better already. Let's see what else here. Okay, your daughter's name again. I lost it.
It's Jo Lynn.
What? The first name is what?
Jo.
J-O?
And N.
Wait, Joan. You're cutting out. Is it Joan?
Oh, I'm sorry. Jo Lynn.
Jolynn.
Yeah.
Jolynn. Okay, good. Thanks. What color is her hair right now?
It's like a light brown, dirty dishwater.
Yeah, I see her. Okay. Jolynn, I need to talk to you. I'm a friend of your mom's. May I come into your head? She says she's not one to put up with much. She doesn't put up with crap, what might be her word. Does that sound like her? She can be kind of hard-nosed, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay, I good. Just want to make sure I have the right girl. All right.
Yeah.
So what is it you're thinking about your mother? Your mom says you're hard on her. She just thinks there's a lot more you can do with your life, and you whine and cry around too much, and you just need to get out and get to work and stop it. She thinks you're weak. Are you aware of all this? If not, I guess I've blown the bag here.
No, it's okay.
What? Do you know this?
I do know that.
Okay.
That she thinks that. And I haven't always been weak, but I don't know, I am feeling not so good.
Well, you know what? I think, listen, honey, I think a lot was taken out of you when you were taking care of your mother. It feels to me like your mother can be crabby, complained, and didn't appreciate everything you did. And it's like she sucked your energy.
Exactly.
Yep, you got a big straw, more than one straw. It had big straws, and she'd just suck whatever one was available.
Yes.
Okay, so it's good that you're out of there. You got to pull those straws out of you. Right now we're doing that. When I say we, I mean the beings that help us. They're busy pulling out all those straws. Pulling out straws, putting putty in the holes here.
Okay.
Putty in the holes. They're doing this while I'm talking. I'm slowing down because I'm sort of watching them. Okay, poo! Wow. They just threw some energy at you and into you. You may have felt it or not, but it's a bright silvery. To get you some energy back and to, your family's a piece of work.
Yes.
They don't tend to uplift each other. There's a lot of crankiness and crabbiness and talking about each other going on. They're hard on each other, not just you.
Right. They're very mean.
Yes, you would do better to get away from all of them. What I would suggest you do is start looking for some good women friends. If you don't already have some. You want some good women friends who are stable. You know that kind I'm talking about? And start doing things where you find them. Get out and about. Join classes. Take, seminars. Go to the gym. Do whatever. It's like you don't have to. You can just taste around, see what is right for you, book club, whatever. You don't have to stick with it if it's not right for you. But then to make a friend, you got to be a friend. Making a friend is a lot of work. You have to give it time and energy. It's just like having a job. The best thing for you would be to find somebody you can live with, who's a friend or who's stable, somebody who's not your family. So you need to start working at that. And then I understand that you need a job. And what's been the problem there?
I don't have a lot of skills, and the job market's really tight. You have to have experience in certain areas, and all I've ever done is clean and wait tables, and I'm just getting a little too sore to do that.
A little too sore to do that?
Mind taking care of an older lady.
You could do that, too. That's very hard, taking care of people. Being a caregiver is hard. You would want to get the people who were good to you. I wouldn't get anybody with a chronic illness who's dying or anything like that, because that would suck more from you. You would need to look for somebody maybe who's old but is in good shape, and you can take them places and do things together, and it's an easy kind of job. The lady who took care of my mother is a caregiver. She's a wonderful person. She's become a really good friend. But she has a lot of trouble handling the sickness, death, and dying. My mother's death was very hard on her because she came to love my mother and vice versa. But now she's taking care of a 96-year-old woman who sleeps a lot, and when she's not sleeping, she takes her out and about, and they go places and they do things, and it's a very easy job. Look for something like that. You know what you could do? You could go to like a senior center. If you can find your own work, you make more money.
Right.
Because, you can ask whatever you want and however you want to get it. If you go through an agency, they take a lot. But look in that direction. Look for something easy. But, again, it's so important you don't take a job with anybody who's going to give you troubles. And if you end up with somebody like that, you have to say, I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Right. I would love to have a very nice older lady, the complete opposite of my mother, who was always so
You can do that. They're out there. And Sandhya also takes care of a man during the week whose wife is a college instructor and works. He's had a stroke, and he's a really nice man. There's not much she has to do. She has to give him a bath, which was a problem for a while because he wanted her to wash his privates real good. And she told the wife, and the wife said, "You leave those alone." So she doesn't have to do that now. But she's worked it out to what's best for her. So why don't you consider something like that? Talk around, put up notes, advertise in the paper, ask your friends, and also while you're doing this, go out and find some good friends. You could even find a woman to live with. Sandra used to live with people and take care of them.
Okay.
If it's a good situation where you have your own room and you have time off and, you know, anything would be better than what's happening to you now.
Right. Can you, Venus, go back into my daughter's head and ask her to be more supportive and nice?
Sure. Linda, was it?
No, Jolynn.
Jolynn. Okay, hang on.
Yes.
Jolynn. I'm coming back in. Okay. I've been too hard on my mother. I love my mother. I need to help my mother. She needs me. She's been battered down by the family. I know how they are. I'm going to be nicer to her. I'm going to do some things for her. I'm going to surprise her and be really nice. Cook for her, do something for her, give something to her. Talk to her nicely, give her some good ideas. I'm going to help her. I need to help her. The way I've been talking to her and dealing with her is making it worse. It's like I'm pounding a nail with a hammer. She's getting lower and lower. I love my mother. I'm going to help her now. I'm going to watch my tongue.
Thank you.
All right, darling, let me give you a little mojo for happiness and good energy. And anybody else out there that wants happiness and good energy, stand up and grab it. Here we go. Woo, 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 wow. Mojo, woo, mojo. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Venus. I love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye. Remember, everybody, I've got that free mojo, on my website. Everything is always okay. GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. Just go to that website, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. Look for the blue headphones again. And pick it up if you don't have it. Play it all the time. I have people who tell me they play it every morning before they get their day going. Or some of the other MP3s. All right, I can see I'm late. I'm late for the break. It's a very short break, though. I'll be right back. Take more of your calls. Talk to you. We'll do what we do. See you in a minute. Venus Andreck, The Dear Venus Show.
I'm Venus's daughter, Summer McStravick, and I hope you can join me for my online radio show, Flow Dreaming. Visit my website, flowdreaming.com, for all the dates and times it plays. That's Flow Dreaming. I hope to see you there.
Where soul meets body.
Become a power manifester with Summer McStravick's complete Flow Dreaming Library CD set. Finally, here is a real practical technique that you can do in 15 minutes a day to activate the law of attraction in your life. No meditation, no long learning curve. Summer shows you how to easily start rewriting your energy patterns now. Go to flowdreaming.com to listen to actual excerpts of the CDs as you become a power manifester. Visit flowdreaming.com.
You can reach Venus for your own private reading by visiting GodIsAlwaysHappy.com and using the contact form to reach Venus. You can also enter to win a free psychic reading with Venus by signing up for her blog or newsletter at GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. Venus draws winners' names each week. Plus, you can follow her very interesting life. That's GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. You're listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
Hi, welcome back. I was just reading the chat room over here. Didn't have time to reply. I got to get more ads or something so I can do things at the break. Somebody said they thought my choosing the comments was random on my blog, and that's what I had planned, but I found, too, that I enjoyed so much I just had to choose them. So it's going to be whatever it is each month. Most interesting comments or random. I don't know. I guess I can't hold myself down here. Let's see. You know about my fan page on Facebook? I keep planning to dump my friend page. It causes me all kinds of trouble in all kinds of ways, technologically. So if you're over there, please come over to my fan page instead under Venus Andirect. And if you're nowhere, come to my fan page on Facebook, Venus Andirect, Andrect. If you don't know how to get there, email me and I'll send you the link. Let's see. Oh, the winner today. Oh, you know, I choose a winner every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. I do a lot of free readings. These are for 10 minutes on the phone with me for free. And the way you get in the pot is you just get on my mailing list. It's my email mailing list for newsletter or my postcards email. And again, I don't overwhelm you, do I? It's because I don't know how. I have a lot of trouble getting these things together and getting them out. So you're pretty safe. But this is where I pull names for the free readings and any other free stuff I come up with. So, I want to tell you before I give you today's winner. Do you remember last week on my show, Brian got on? He got on air for the very first time. He got on, and we discussed his love life. Do you remember that? Then later in the show, the winner was a Brian. I won't say his name again. I don't want to embarrass him. But I said, do you suppose, what if this is the same Brian that I talked to earlier in the show? Wouldn't that be weird? He'd be double lucky. Well, you know what? It was him. It was him. He was double lucky. In fact, I just gave him his free reading yesterday. So anyway, and as I told him, I don't care if you win. It doesn't mean you can never win again. You can win over and over. I just do those randomly. They just come up. So the winner for this week is Valerie Archuleta, Archuleta. Valerie, your free reading is valid through January 17th, 2012. After that, null and void. You can email me to tell me you won, venus@venusandrect.com, or reach me through my website. Place you sign up, to win is on my website, godisalwayshappy.com. When you get the free mojo, you automatically sign up. So, 2 for 1 are there. All right, let's see what we've got here. I can't believe how fast this hour goes. All right, Sue in Norwalk, Iowa. Sue, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sue.
Hi.
What are we going to do for you today?
Well, we've been having problems with our dog with his back legs, and he's been like this since he was a puppy, and we've had him to the vet.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Sure. We've had him to the vet, and he can't figure out what's going on with him, but he has problems. It's almost like a nerve issue, I think, where he kind of loses, he falls over. It's getting worse as he gets older.
Have you taken him to a chiropractor?
No, we have not.
You might consider that.
Okay.
Either a chiropractor friend who would do it or somebody who deals with dogs, but I just got that in my head, but I think there's some more here. So what's your dog's name and what color, what kind, or whatever?
His name is Marley, and he's white Lhasa Apso.
Okay. Marley. So his legs give out? Is that what happens?
Yeah, it's getting worse. It's not, it's
better.
not
Does
like
he cry?
He can't walk. No.
Does he cry?
He doesn't seem to be in any pain at all.
Okay, Marley, let me have a chat with you. Marley. I'm a friend of your mom, Sue's. Can I come in and talk to you? How are you feeling in there, Marley? How are you doing? He feels a little stiff or heavy somehow, like a little block. I don't know what that means, but maybe something's blocked. Like that's why I probably thought of the chiropractor massage. You could even massage him. Have you ever tried massaging his back and his hips and his legs?
Yes, and he does love that.
Yeah, okay. Good. Maybe somebody who knows what they're doing could do it too. Knows the anatomy. Okay, I'm still looking down there. Let me see what else is going on. It's a weakness. It's a general weakness. And something may be pinched like a nerve, like you said. Do you give him bones and knuckle bones and marrow and things like that? Does he get that?
Yes.
A lot of it?
Yes.
Good. Because I just feel like he needs some minerals, and you may have heard me on, I think, a show last week or a few weeks back. I'm just busy making a knuckle bone soup and marrow bone soup for me, and I drink it all the time, and you might even consider doing that for all of you, and give some to Marley.
Okay.
because the more you cook the bones, and you can cook them over and over, the more comes out. And whenever you're cooking bones in water or whatever, put some vinegar in with it, tablespoon or two, because that pulls out more of the minerals. He feels like he may be lacking something. Let me see if there's anything else. Marley, is there anything else here? Does he get outside enough on the green grass or with green plants or?
Well, he does in the summertime. It's actually winter here now, so.
Okay, but you know, he's showing me that. It's like he wants to. He likes it. You might even get him some of those pet greens if you don't have any in the house, you know, that he can eat.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Try that.
We got a treat for him that's for hip joints.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know if it really makes any difference or not, but he loves to eat them.
Yeah, you let him eat them, but he's missing being outside and he's missing the grass. That's what's in his head right now.
Okay.
All right, so why don't you try these different things and we'll see how he does. He's a sweet little guy. He's a nice person. A nice person. You know, sometimes animals feel like people to me.
Oh, I know. They do us too.
Yeah, and he's one of them.
Tell you, another thing that he does is he barks. Anytime we drive into a parking lot, he starts barking, and we have no idea why. And he won't stop. Why
are you barking when you drive into parking lots, Marley? Well, he's thinking he's going to see something interesting, like people or interesting things. Something's going to happen. There's always something new in parking lots, and he's waiting for it, and he's calling it in. That's what I'm getting off him.
Okay.
Maybe we can think of that when we drive into parking lots. We'd see them in a whole new way, wouldn't we?
Yeah, really.
Maybe we'd start barking. Or whatever. Thank you, Sue, for the call.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, let's see. Cherie, Palo Alto, California. Cherie.
Hi, Venus.
Hello.
I am so happy I got to call in.
I'm glad you got through. So what are we going to look at? Who, what?
Well, I said my dogs.
Okay, your dogs. What would you like to know?
I have 3.
You have 3 dogs?
And I just recently introduced one to the house. So
yeah.
He's new since Christmas. And I just really want to make it okay for all of them.
Okay, how's it going so far?
There's definitely dominance issues.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
They're dogs. People are the same way.
I know. And then I have a little one who's, he's the older out of the bunch, but he's the most nervous. And
okay.
So we rescued him. We were his foster home, and then we just decided to keep him.
Mm-hmm.
But I often wonder if maybe he's better off on somebody's ranch.
Okay, so which dog do you want me to look at here?
I don't know how to choose. Let's look at my little one, Keto.
Is that the one that you rescued?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of dog is he, or what color? How old?
He's black. He's an Australian Shepherd.
Okay, and he's the one who's what, having some troubles?
Yeah, he's always been very nervous and very skittish.
Okay, Keto is his name? Keto? What's his name again?
Keto.
Kiko. Okay, hang on a sec. Go through you, Cherie, to Kiko. Can I talk to you, please, Kiko? Why are you nervous and skittish? What's the problem? It's almost like he doesn't know what to do with the other dogs around him. But sometimes it's like they just sort of bounce off him in a sense. He doesn't pay him any attention.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they're ticks bouncing off him, and he just stands there like, you know. Keto, would you like to live somewhere else? Would you be happy on a big ranch or where you could run or do things? Yes, he doesn't have enough to do, and those dogs annoy him. They're just very annoying. Would you miss your family? Would you be upset if you found another place to live? I think in the long run he'd be happy. He needs to be running a lot. He needs to be doing things. He needs to be busy. He's just not kept busy enough. Okay. He doesn't have a job. He needs a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we go out to play at the end of the day, he's the one who's off exploring. He's the one who's off. He doesn't play with the other dogs. He doesn't know how to play with toys. He's the one who's, you know, chasing down a killdeer, you know.
Yes, well, if you could find him a good place where people would really take care of him and he could roam and maybe have some other animals more his type, he'd be happy. He'd be sorry at first and go through that, but he would really get into it, so you don't need to worry about it.
Okay.
All right, darling. As for your other dog, I'm running out of time here, but Let's see. What's the name of the new dog?
So the new one is Zeus.
Zeus. What kind of dog?
He's a Rottweiler.
Rottweiler. How are you doing, Zeus? Rottweiler. Well, he wants to run things, and he's checking it out to see if he can. He's checking it out to see who he can run.
Yeah.
He's trying to make his decision who he can be the boss over.
Uh-huh.
And he's sniffing the air, sniffing them out. Okay, I'm just telling him, be careful, choose wisely. You're just going to have to watch them. They're going to have to thrash this out themselves. Okay, darling, I need to go. I've got somebody who's been waiting here a long time, but I'm sending you good thoughts, okay? Thanks for the call. Casey, New York City, we got a few minutes here, but you've been waiting so long, I thought I better call on you.
Oh, thank you so much. So happy that you're taking my call, and I love your show.
Thank you, darling. So what can I look at for you?
I guess you would call it financial security.
Yeah.
Not very proud, but I have been getting Social Security disability.
Yeah.
And they're giving me a problem. They're claiming I have these overpayments. And it hit me like a ton of bricks last Monday, of course. I was trying to get with the new year and have the positive attitude and all the good vibes of 2012.
Yeah.
And I was doing okay, and boom. And so I fit the what you were talking about in the beginning about crying and different moods. But I blame it on this because I feel so uprooted and scared. And I also thought I should have been getting the Better program, and I don't know if this is a message that maybe I could get a new claim and get on the Better program. Wonder what
Casey, how old are you, and why are you on disability?
I'm 61.
Uh-huh.
Almost 62.
Yeah.
I've been on disability a long time. It was for major depressive disorder.
Okay.
Well, I feel I have been, quote, disabled for before that since the mid-'80s when I came down with chronic systemic candida.
Oh.
It's like, I believe, a source of chronic fatigue.
You know what? I want to tell you something. Stop. I used to work as an herbalist, and there's a really good herb for that if you haven't tried it. And everybody out there, this seems to fix just about everything you can imagine, including cancer. Look it up. Google it. It's Pau d'Arco, and I'm going to spell this. P-A-U, new word D, new word Arco, A-R-C-O. Also Tahibo, Lapacho, but call it Pau d'Arco. You got to get the best quality, the innermost bark, finely ground. The stuff you buy in stores over the net, you just wonder. But you make a tea out of it, and you boil it 20 minutes. It kills off viruses, bacteria, fungus, parasites. It brings energy. Look into it, would you? Okay?
I had tried tea, but maybe it wasn't strong enough, or maybe I didn't do it enough.
Yes, and it probably wasn't strong enough, just in the tea bag form or whatever, or loose.
Yeah.
You really need to look for the best quality. You need to do a lot of research on the net. If you can't find anything, email me, and I'll send you what I know. Okay, so I've got like a minute. What is it you want me to do for you, Casey? Besides cure you. I try everything. Go ahead, hon.
Any advice, or do you see me getting the problem resolved and have them not take any monies away?
Okay, let me look. First of all, I want to work on your health. I want to get you better.
Oh, yeah.
So you can do more things. It's time for you to really live. And let me see. This is Social Security disability. Let me see if I get anything here. Well, they're just, my sense is they're going after a lot of people for a lot of things because everything's up in the air and everything's costing too much money and they're being pushed and prodded and you sort of fell into that bag. So let me see if I can put some good energy on you. Boo, 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 for good things to happen. I put green all around you, good money, lots of energy. Woo! Lots of money. Woo, woo, woo for Casey. Lots of money from all good sources. What I see opening up for you is another source of money. I don't know how this is going to work out, the Social Security thing, but I see another source of money, and I feel you feeling better. And that's what I want for you, okay? Casey? Are you there? Do anything. Get the tea, like I said, the kind I meant, and drink it. Start drinking it. Drinking a lot every day. Start thinking about what you can do to bring in money from other sources. I feel there's something you can do. And even if the Social Security keeps up, there's something you can do on the side that's going to help you. It may have to do something with your hands, something you do with your hands. And I got to go because Sam, the studio man, says he's going to cut me off here. So thank you for calling, darling. Thank you all for joining me. Please come next week. We'll have more fun, get more good work done. Venus and Direct with the Dear Venus Show.